Podcast show.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Myers, and welcome to the Rich Myers Podcast show. I'm here tonight with Corey Hensley. What are you up to?
Man, trying to make this stream work. I almost didn't get this thing to work tonight. Oh man. Nah, man, just the normal 6 and 7s, buddy. We're making a little bit of music and driving the truck down the road and just keeping the house together. That's about it.
Okay. I listened to your track, River of Teardrops.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, what too bad.
It sounds a little like Ricky Skaggs, but
a little bit. I've been accused for him a time or two.
Okay. What influenced the song?
Well, funny enough, that's a song that we had. Let's see, 2014, I guess, was when that song was written, and I was working with a band called Monroeville up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Shout out old Smoky Moonshine. We kind of helped them get their live music thing up there going in their distillery in their sampling area. And the band that I was with, Monroeville, we came to Nashville and recorded a record. And there was a 5-piece band, myself playing bass and mandolin player, banjo player, guitar player, and dobro player. So, and we kind of did all kinds of different stuff, some different like country and some fusion and just, we just kind of let it hang out there. We were kind of a genre bender. And we had 3 lead singers in the group. Myself, actually 4. Myself, Matt Muncie, who still is the main man in Monroeville. A gentleman by the name of Andy Ruff, a good friend, incredible dobro player, and a guy by the name of Matt Fox, who played guitar and sang really well. He has worked in a lot of the theaters in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area, that kind of thing. And we selected our material for this record, and we got down to basically we were cutting, and we were like, man, Matt hasn't sang a thing on this whole record. Like we, that can't stand. So, and he said, well, do you have anything you want to cover? And it's like, well, won't you just write me something? I said, give me 15 minutes. So I huddled off because I had a couple little ideas, and I huddled off inside of the studio and came up with the lyrics to River of Teardrops, and he sang it originally. So that, and when that configuration of the band kind of fell to the wayside, Matt Muncie, that has been really good about taking and pushing the more current versions of the band. So a lot of those older iterations of the band haven't, he doesn't push those records, doesn't keep them up and all that. So and I, we cut the tracks in Nashville, and then we mixed and mastered them ourselves. And probably 2-3 years ago, Matt and I were talking, and he said, man, I've still got those old files from the session we did, back then. He said, you want them? You take them and, do what you want to with them. So I said, yeah, you know what? Go ahead and send them to me. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to have those. So, and I got to thinking about, putting something out there just to kind of test the waters. Cause I've by and large been a bluegrass and a gospel guy. And I thought, well, I never really did anything country. So, basically just stripped some parts out that was from that original Monroeville record and kept the basic parts of it and added a couple of things. Added my buddy Eddie Lang that played steel guitar on it. Eddie plays pretty much in the Grand Ole Opry House band these days, and got my best bud Chuck Ward to play Telecaster on it. Chuck, he and I spent time on the road together with Craig Morgan, and he has went on and plays for Aaron Lewis, who was the frontman for Stained. And we just kind of put some things together and let it ride, and it was a pretty cool track, So we had a lot of fun with it, and just kind of threw it out there and see what was going to happen with it.
Okay, let's take a listen to it.
Yeah.
Well, honey, I hope you've been doing fine. Don't worry about a thing, I got your ring, go have yourself a time. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but they can't hold a light to the beating that my heart is taking, sitting here tonight. I'm gonna set sail on a river of teardrops. I've cried them one by one since we've been through. I might just cry until my heart stops. That's how long it'll take me to get over you. There ain't enough water in the 7 seas to wash away the pain of the hole you left in me. If this is how the story ends, I guess it's mighty clear. It's time to stop this misery and sail on away from here. I'm gonna set sail on a river of teardrops. I've cried them one by one since we've been through. I might just cry until my heart stops. That's how long it'll take me to get over you. That's how long it'll take me to get over you.
Yeah, you don't hear that steel in there that much.
No, you don't. we picked a nice slow one, We want to get them too riled up or something fast.
Okay. Do you got any other songs? Any concerts or what's next?
Man, I do very, very limited road dates this year. The last thing that I was actually going to do on the road is I was going to go out and play a couple of fill-in dates with Craig Morgan, who I worked with years ago. I was actually going to go play bass in the band, and that was supposedly it was the week after we got hit by that big ice storm down here in Nashville. So by the time it was time to go hit the bus and leave, half the guys still didn't have power from the weekend before, and it wasn't like we were going to Florida. I mean, we were going to like Minnesota and Wisconsin, the beautiful places to be at the end of January. So, very, very limited road dates. I think I've got to do a show down in Athens, Alabama for, I think it's Athens, Alabama. There's a little place called, heck, I'm not even going to say because I'm going to screw it up. It's an Irish pub. Let's put it that way. So I think we're going to be playing down there next Saturday, and just very limited road dates. But most of the stuff I do now is pretty pretty heavily in the studio. I do a lot of vocal demos, that sort of thing. Do a lot of post-production work, mixing and mastering and tuning and that kind of thing. And get into a little bit of tracking, but I don't do as much tracking as I do the rest of the stuff. But so any of your people need post work or anything like that, hey, reach out. I'm available. So
if you was a CD, what would you be called?
oh man, I'd probably have to use the title of my my autobiography. I feel like my it would be released post mortem, so it'd be after I was gone. And I think if I was going to be a CD, I'd probably title it the same thing as my autobiography, and it would be something to the effect of, "Well, that didn't work." So, I think that's probably what I'd have to go with.
Can you tell me about your best and worst venue you ever played?
Oh man. Best one I ever played that I could remember. So over in the mountains of Western North Carolina, and this was probably, I don't know, 15 years ago, something like that. Actually, it's a little bit longer than that. There is a place, it is now known as the Smoky Mountain Center for the Performing Arts or something like that. It's in a little town called Franklin, North Carolina, right above the Georgia line. And we got booked there just kind of on a whim. And this place had just opened. And I mean, we're talking about like a brand new state of the art building. And we played a little concert there and, had fun. And they booked us back and wanted us to do a video shoot there. So kind of hang out for the weekend and that kind of thing. So we did that. And probably one of the coolest moments in my life at the time was I had sang a song pretty much solo, just pretty much me and a guitar on stage. Most of the guys were kind of off on the stage at that point. And I can remember getting a standing ovation and probably 1,500, 1,800 people in that place. And if I shut my eyes, I can still remember that feeling. And, as far as performing, there hasn't been much that's touched that. So that's probably one of the best venues that I've played. There's a heck of a competition for the worst venue I've ever played. there's some real humdingers out there, but I'd say let's see, we got what was it? Oh, we got booked in this place up in New York one time, and the guy was just impossibly Italian. Just forget about it. This whole thing, like he had that whole deal going on, and he goes, and we got set up and we got our sound check and all that, and he says, you guys, you're gonna go to my restaurant and I'm gonna feed you like that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And I was like, do I even need to ask what kind of restaurant it is? He's like, it's Italian, of course. I'm like, okay, here we go. So we got in this restaurant, and I mean, do you ever see the mob movies, like when they have somebody tied up in the back of a restaurant and they're just beating the brakes off of them for information? It was entirely plausible that was happening in that restaurant, because you could just hear random stuff breaking in the back and all that. And I'm like, well, did we get paid already? Because we may need to get out of here. But and so help me, like we played this thing, and it was probably a, I don't know, 600-800 cap place. It was a pretty decent sizable theater. And Rich, we brought more people than showed up. Like we brought more people on the bus with us than bought tickets and showed up to this thing. It was like, and the guy was like, don't worry about it. It happens sometimes. Here's your check. God bless you. Come back sometime. And we're like, see you never. So We just got out of there, bro. It's like we're not even gonna no. We're not coming back. That was a 2-in-1 trip. That was the first and the last. So that's probably the first one that comes to mind in sketchy venues we played.
What's the best advice you ever been given since you've been a musician?
Best advice. I'll answer this two ways. So just the art of being a musician and art of being a singer is the best advice that I was given was know more about when not to play than when to play. And that takes a second to kind of sink in because the best players know when not to play, not when to play. And as far as vocals go, the best advice I was ever given was, man, sing how you feel, like sing what you feel and not what you know. And take that song that you're singing and try your darndest to be the bridge between the writer and the audience. Like you are a medium between a songwriter and an audience. So try to deliver and paint that picture as vividly as you possibly can through your voice with song. And the other way I would answer that question is toward for the business side of it is if you remember the movie Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's a scene in the movie where they lower Indiana Jones down into this big pit full of poisonous snakes, and that's pretty much the music business in a nutshell. If I'm being real honest, it's and the thing is like there's a lot of snakes. There's a lot of people out there that are selling pipe dreams. A lot of people that just want nothing more than to take your money and leave you oh so sad. And and there are people at all levels that will do that. And the best advice that I was probably given was to be very wary about who you align yourself with. Because everybody's, well, I've worked with so and so, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. And it's like, okay, that's fine. You've done that for them. What can you do for me? And it's kind of one of those things. It's like, you kind of got to be able to, the thing, like the old saying, the juice is worth, there ain't enough juice in for the squeeze kind of thing. And, half the times they'll take your money and they don't even give you a lemon to squeeze, So, it's just one of those things, and it's very much, Nashville's very much a no town. You're going to hear no all day, every day until eventually once you don't, so, and that's just, that's the way of it. I mean, anybody that asks me about the music business, and mine has primarily, been on the touring side of things and not so much into the back end business, if you will. So, but I mean, as far as touring goes, it's like, hey man, go do your job well, be a good hang, just kind of blend in, do as the Romans do kind of thing. But don't get yourself so caught up in chasing that next dollar that that you lose the bigger picture, and just having the cool gig to say, well, I'm with so and so. It's like, that's all well and good, but I mean, how many groceries does that put in your fridge?
Where can people go and see your videos, music, and events?
Man, probably the best place to find me is I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. TikTok and Instagram, or TikTok and Facebook rather, probably the most active on those. And I'm literally under the Corey Hensley at all at all those platforms. So CoreyHensley, the Corey Hensley will put you in with any of those. And I try to get a little bit more consistent about posting content and things like that. But as far as live shows and things like that, like I say, they're very. I try to kind of put a blurb up or even try to stream them if I can, but there's so few and far between. It's not really even worth putting up a website and kind of do all that. So, we just mainly stick to the socials at this point.
Well, thanks for being on the show again. I really enjoyed having you.
Well, man, like I say, I mean, every time you've asked me to do it, I love it.